Hi children. Children, today we are going to study a very important theorem related to similar triangles. Children, this theorem says that in two triangles, if all the three angles are equal, then ratio of their corresponding sides are equal, and hence the triangles are similar. You can see this theorem statement on your screen. Okay children, so let's understand this theorem with the help of figure. So for that, let's take two triangles. Suppose we have taken two triangles. Name it as triangle A, B, C, D, E and F children. These are the names of triangle. So children, what is given in the theorem? All the three angles are equal. So let angle A is equal to angle D, angle B is equal to angle E and angle C is equal to angle F children. Okay children, so let's write first what is given. Here itself you can write given. So in triangle A, B, C and triangle D, E, F, what is given in these two triangles children? Given that angle A is equal to angle D, comma, angle B is equal to angle E, comma, angle C is equal to angle F. This is given children. And what we have to prove? A ratio of their corresponding sides are equal children. So let's write it. A ratio of corresponding sides. So you can see children, this is a angle A and this is angle D. Both are equal. It means we have to take ratio of their corresponding sides. This one, angle A, its opposite side is BC. Angle D, opposite side is EF. So you take BC by EF. This angle and this angle are same. So side opposite this angle is AC. Side opposite this is a DF. So you should write AC by DF like that children. Because always when we take the sides, we should take the sides opposite to equal angles children. So let's write it. AB upon D is equal to BC upon EF and that is equal to AC upon DF. Okay children, where this is a big triangle, so I am writing greater than 1. Means this is a bigger triangle by smaller triangle. Just I am writing for the sake of formality to understand that here AB side is bigger than DE, BC bigger than EF, AC bigger than DF children. So for that some construction is required. What is the construction? Let's see. Construction. So what is the construction part here children? Nothing children. We have to pick this triangle and try to fix on this. It cannot be fixed because sizes are different. But since this angle and this angle is same, so you can lift it and keep here. Keep here. So how it will be fixed? It may come probably be up to here. Probably up to here. Just I pick this and fix on that such that A and D coincides. And this line coincides. This line coincides. And wherever it is cutting the AB, that I gave the name as a P and here as a Q. Such that AP length equal to D, AQ length is equal to DF children. So this is the construction. You can say construction or picking and keeping there. Okay children. The same thing can be kept here also. Such that E and B coincides. Any one angle will coincide because the sizes are different children. So I am writing mark mark P on AB and Q on AC such that this length is equal to this length. So AP is equal to DE and AQ is equal to DF. This was our construction part, children. Okay, I think it's very clear to you. Now we have to start our proof. How to prove this? How to prove this, children? So for that, children, first of all, see what can we take to prove this. So nothing, just simply see these two triangles. We have to do something of these two triangles. What can we do? One angle is given equal and one side is given equal to this. One side is given equal to this. Two sizes are given equal. One angle is given equal. So with this we can go to flashback in 9th class in the congruency rule. Side, angle, side. That is called as included angle. This angle is called as included angle of these two sides. So side, angle, side of this triangle is equal to side, angle, side of this triangle. So with that what we can write? We can write that triangle APQ is congruent to triangle DEF, because other than this nothing is given. So you can write here by SAS congruency rule, children. So once you got these two are congruent, means automatically all the 6 parts of triangles are equal. So means already this is equal to this is equal to this angle is equal, already we know. Now it is clear that this also became equal to this. Of course we are not going to consider sides. We need angle here. We need angle because angles are given. So we need here relation in angles. So one angle A is already equal to D, and if these two triangles are congruent, it means remaining two angles are also equal. So this angle, that is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle. These two are congruent, so all three angles are same, children. So what you can write? This implies angle APQ. Angle APQ is equal to angle E, and angle AQP is equal to angle F. How can you say? Corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Since these two are congruent, all 6 parts will be equal, children. Now we got these two angles. Okay, children. Now see here, already we are given here angle E equal to angle B. It's better, children, if I write in side. If I write in somewhat side, it will be easy to understand. That is angle APQ equal to angle E, and angle AQP equal to angle F. How? Corresponding parts of congruent triangle. Now this angle E is already given that equal to B. So see from here, pick up this from there. What? Angle B is equal to angle E, and also given angle C is also equal to angle F. This is already given, so I am writing in bracket given. So see, children, in this case LHS of this is equal to angle E, LHS of this also equal to angle E. Right hand side is equal, so it means left hand side also equal, children. So what you can write? Therefore angle A P Q is equal to angle B. Right hand side are both equal, so LHS also equal, and as well as here angle F and here angle F, right hand side are both equal, so LHS also equal. So angle AQ P is equal to angle C, children. Now we got these two. This is very important and going to be used. So it means what, children? APQ is equal to E and E is equal to B. It means these two are also equal. See carefully. This we just now proved that this equal to this. Already given that this equal to this. This equal to this. This equal to this means these two are also equal. Similar, these two are also equal, children. That's we wrote. This angle is equal to this. We wrote here. This is equal to this. We wrote here. Okay, children. I am moving this due to less space on board. Okay, children. Now, see, children. In triangle ABC. What is there? See here. Otherwise not necessary. See this one. See, children. PQ is a line and here BC is a line. See carefully. PQ is a line, BC is a line and AB is also line which is intersecting these two. So what happens? We proved just now that these two are equal. These two are equal. So just go to flashback, children. There was a theorem of parallel lines which says that if any parallel line, any set of parallel line is intersected or transmitted by a line, then their corresponding angles are equal. And its converse theorem says that if a set of lines intersecting by a third line have this type of angles equal, then that line is a parallel. Same situation here, children. Just you see, PQ and BC is a line and this is a transversal, and we are able to prove now that these two are equal. So when these two are equal means PQ line is parallel to BC, is it not? PQ is a line, BC is a line, both are parallel, we don't know now, but these two are a set of lines. Now we say one more line which is intersecting these two and these angles are equal, and these angles are if equal means corresponding angles, so these two are parallel. Same thing I want to tell here, children, that therefore what? PQ parallel BC, that is in triangle ABC, PQ is parallel to BC. PQ is parallel to BC. In triangle ABC, if PQ is parallel to BC, then what the PPT says? It says that ratio of this divided by this is equal to ratio of this divided by this. Is it not? Or its corollary says that ratio of this part divided by whole is equal to ratio of this part divided by whole, children. So I am writing part and whole. That is AP upon AB is equal to AQ upon AC, children. How? By BPT. By BPT, children. Okay, children? Right. Now see next one. So, children, what we require? We need AB and DE. AB and DE. AB is there, but DE is not there. Here AP. So check that, is there any relation between AP and DE? See here. We have assumed AP is equal to DE. In place of AP, what can I write? DE by AB is equal to, here it's a AQ. What we require here? Here required what, children? Along with AC, what is required? DF required. Check the relation between DF and AQ. It's a here. AQ is equal to DF. So in place of AQ, I can write here DF upon AC. Now check it again. Have we got our required? We require AB by DE. Here it's the reverse, DE by AB. So reverse it. Or AB upon DE. So you have to reverse that side also. AC upon DF. This is called as invertendo. Invertendo. Okay. And here you can write AP is equal to DE and AQ is equal to DF, children. Because writing in bracket, why? This is very important, children. Okay, children. Now come to this. We got AB by DE. AB by DE is equal to AC by DF. Is equal to AC by DF. From 3, 2 we are able to prove, children. Now, children, 1 is left. So, one thing you remember, children. When you took, see, children, I am going to make a figure here. Here I took triangle ABC, and I put here the point P and Q, and here it was D, E, F. So what I found, children, after joining these two, what I find it? Since I have taken the points on AB side and AC side, I got the relation of AB and AC along with DE side and DF side. See, children, it's very clear. Since I have taken the point P on AB side and AQ side, I got here AB relation and AC relation with DE side and DF side. Is it not clear? If I take these points A, B, C, D, E, F. If I take these points P on AB or Q on BC, then what I get, children? If I took the points on AB and AC, I got relation AB and AC with AB corresponding this, AC corresponding this. If I have taken this one and joined the point like that, I have taken the point on AB and BC, I would get relation between AB and BC. How? Similarly, if we take point P on which side? AB, and Q on BC, instead of taking Q on AC, we are going to take what? Here Q taken AC, we are going to take on BC. So we get, there we got relation between AB and AC. Here we will get AB and BC. AB by something is equal to BC by something. So what is that something, children? AB corresponds to D. AB corresponds to D, and this BC corresponds to EF. So I would have got like that. Is it not? Is it not? Need not to again prove it. By seeing this, we can say that if P was the point on AB side and Q on AC side, we got relation between AB and AC which correspond to this side and that side. If I take this point on AB and instead of AC, BC, I get the relation between AB and BC with D and EF. Or we can take the points P on this here and Q on that also we can take, no problem. But this two is enough. So what happens, children? So what happens, children? It's a number 1. It's a number 2. Okay, children? See, AB by DE here. Here also AB by DE. AB by D equal to this. AB by D equal to this. Means this and this also equal. As well, all the three are equal. So what you can write, children? From 1 and 2. 1 and 2. AB upon DE is equal to AC upon DF, and that is equal to BC upon EF. It's a very energetic statement here, hence proved. This is a symbol of our success of proof. Okay, children? we get lot of happiness when we are able to write this word in any proof, because proof is somewhat difficulty. You have to memorize it. Okay children, I hope you understand.